Balance.
Brian Cristiano.
CEO of Bold Worldwide, top experts in the world of marketing.
Here to discuss is Brian Cristiano.
This is 100 million real.
Yes, absolutely real.
I have not been a great CEO, but it's time for me to step up.
I'm down 50% on my staff.
It could be enough to put us out of business.
Nobody's grinding like you are.
Is there anything you worry about?
I'm tied to making this work.
Crazy story.
This is a real growing bold.
October 23rd.
October 23rd, Allie on the Run One and Bold CEO collaborating forces for our biggest project yet.
I know, I'm excited. So we're going to tell you all about it today. I'm actually most excited to tell our parents about it.
You mean grandparents?
As soon as we told people I was pregnant, everyone was like, oh, so is Brian gonna be home a lot more now? And I'm like, no, Brian needs to be at the office a lot more now. Like, that shocks people. But to us, I'm like, I don't need him for anything now.
I mean, the last couple of weeks, honestly, I haven't gotten home earlier than 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And so the other day, I was like, wow, the baby's getting bigger. And she's like, yeah, you haven't seen me in like during the daylight hours in 2 weeks, of course. That's reality.
The first ever live Allie on the Run show.
Whatever it takes.
It's only because the camera's on.
I got a pregnant wife giving me a massage.
Don't! Okay. The way both of us
Sounds
think.
just boring.
Boring. People have asked me like, oh, well, what's Brian gonna do for paternity leave? And I'm like, I don't know. A, we haven't figured that out, and B, he's gonna do whatever is best for him and for our family. Right. Oh, you guys are so lucky that you don't have to worry about that. We're lucky? Yeah, maternity leave in our country sucks. I'm not lucky, we chose this life.
That's right.
And it's hard. Like, I think people look at the good things. People look at the trips, the vacations, the freedom, and don't realize how hard you work to get that.
I hate the word balance. Balance is like you get on a seesaw and you're like, okay, let's get balanced, and you just kind of float in the middle. Dude, real life is extremes. It's a big emotion, it's big successes, it's big failures. And I think the problem is that most people try to go for balance, so guess what? They experience this in life. Very little fluctuation. My life is this. It's way more fun, dude. It's way more fun to go up and down on the seesaw, have extremes. It's not easy, but it's more fun.
Why can't you have it all? You can have it all. It's
if you're willing to work hard enough for it.
Well, that's it. But the amount of work it requires to do that is immense, and most people don't want to go through that journey.
You ready?
Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
We like to go all in on everything we do for both of us.
Hi!
And I think that's why we work well.
I'm just being bold. You're laughing like
You have no idea how bold you are, sweetie.
Yeah, thank you. You know, when I was bike racing, dude, I was all in. Like, I won races, like, all in. But that detracted from how much time I could put in the business. So I'm not in on it at all.
Where's Dad?
And the times that I find it hard are when people try to tell you how to have balance. Like, well, just schedule an hour on these days and do this. And it's like, then you kind of sort of have an hour to kind of maybe, I'm like, dude, I'd rather not see my wife for 2 weeks and then go away with her for 3 days. And be all in on that, and then come back and be all in on business for 2 weeks.
The way I see balance is it's not about time. To me, it's not like, oh, if you're gonna be at the office for 8 hours, I want you home for this many. Like, you can be at the office for 20 hours, be home for 4, sleep for 3 of them. If for that 1 hour, you're all in, focused on your family, committed, and we get the best of you, that's not a problem.
Like when I have the kid, I'll take, I don't know how much time. I've never had a kid before, so I don't know how much time I'm gonna want. But if it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 days, I don't know. But I will, and I'll shut down and focus all on that.
What's in there? Where's the doctor?
For what?
For our first ultrasound.
What?
Hi, baby.
Is there anything you worry about when it comes to our family?
I do worry a bit sometimes about missing stuff.
You haven't missed anything yet. You've
I've been
come
to
to every appointment.
Yeah.
You've felt
I'll make time for it.
lots of kicks, seen lots of kicks.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
haven't missed anything yet. And I know it's different when there's an actual child, but
Sure.
you know, you make it work. You do. Like, I don't know how. I don't know why you've chosen to come to every appointment. I'm very grateful that you have. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I love having you there.
Yeah, I don't want to miss it.
Anyone who knows Brian knows his schedule doesn't allow for that, but he has made that happen, and that's not something I expected or asked for. I was kind of like, come to the big ones. I don't know what the big ones are, but like, you hear people say that, like, oh, my husband came to the big ones, so I was like, yeah, come to the big ones. It's just like with everything that he goes all in on. You're doing a good job supporting me.
Am I?
Like, yeah, I haven't.
In all seriousness?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
look at where we were a year ago, and that was not the case. Like, we were living totally separate lives.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Whew. My greatest fear is, when it comes to our future, is having kids and having to do it by myself. I think there's a part of me that wants to be able to say, like, I'm independent. I don't need anyone. Like, I can do this on my own. But like, the reality is, it's really helpful to not have to do it on your own. And like,
Do you feel like you're doing it on your own?
yeah.
You do.
Look how much better it's made where we are now. And I think I look at what we've been through in the last year between my health, your crazy work, me being very deeply depressed and not myself for a long time. Like,
Right.
I think the timing of when I got pregnant is insane. When I got pregnant, we weren't at the point of really concretely talking about starting a family. And since then, like, he's been really different in that he's really focused in everything he does. He is always talking about, like, this is for our family, and like, everything I do right now is for our family. And not that we weren't a family before. I mean, we were a family, we've always been a family. It's just different now. Like, he's so focused on how every business decision he makes will impact our future directly.
I'm tied to making this work. Like, I have to make the business successful. I have to make it work in order to make us successful and to be able to provide greatly for our family. It's not an easy lifestyle or choice. It requires an immense amount of effort to continue to grow and to
sacrifices.
a lot of sacrifices. So that's the thing. It's not for everybody, but I think that at the end of the day, you're asking about like balance, and I don't believe in balance. You define it differently as well. It's an individual decision. I don't think anyone should ever be balanced, but I think that they should go all in on what that they want. If they want to like relax and be chill all day and read books and go like fishing, then figure out how to go all in on that, and don't just do it every 3 months because you take a day off from work. Like, figure out how to make that 100% of your energy. You don't have to want this like super high cadence, high energy, high effort all the time, risking everything on both sides every minute of every day. That is absolutely not for a lot of people. That's what I want, and that's what I have to do to get where we want to go, and so I have to go all in on that. I don't want balance and mediocrity. I want to see what I'm made of. I want to show our kid what's possible. And so I remind myself on a daily basis of, I'm doing this because this effort gets me where I want to go. And so I remind myself what I'm trying to achieve and why I have to put in this level of energy. And the other part is I remind myself of what being introverted and comfortable and lazy gets me. And that's $250,000 in debt, broke, on a couch, completely depressed, hating life. And so those two things are total polar opposites, and one is pushing me away from ever being that person ever again, and the other is pulling me towards my future.
I mean, he's gonna be the best dad. He will do anything for our family. And I think when it comes to his hours right now, I don't care. Like, he can work round the clock. I don't need him for anything right now. I can't wait to see what our family looks like when the baby's here. And, you know, I know there will be parts that are gonna be really challenging and parts that are just so amazing.
3. Is it a girl? No, really?
We're not balanced people. We're not going to be, but that also doesn't mean we're gonna neglect our kid because we're both so consumed by our work. We're gonna kick ass at both.
Ready to go see Ed Milet?
Wow, bro, that's a crazy story.
I might not get tomorrow.
Right.
This could be it.
Didn't everything kind of connect in hindsight? you might as well act as if there's a destiny, because there is.